First of all, just heard there was a situation in the game in the stands that just sounds like the staff and EMS did a great job responding to it, and want to give our best and our prayers to the family. I didn't get any details other than that, but hopefully everything's okay there. For the game, I thought the aggressor won the game, and we tried to turn the aggression in the last 10 minutes and did a great job, but we had dug ourselves too big of a hole. And you use all that energy, and then it goes into a 50-50 game, and it's just how the game works. The game, the most aggressive team that brings the most energy wins most games, and I thought that stood true today. We let it, I'm sure the stat's going to be, hey, we didn't make shots. Listen, making shots is a result of great process in how you approach the game and how you play the game. All right, this isn't some make shot guy that decides, hey, you guys are off today. You're off because your process is poor. And we've got to understand that when you come into the game and you come into practice, it all matters, right? Everything matters. And you could see it early defensively. We weren't as sharp as we needed to be. And they brought more energy than we did. We were down 10 at half. They had scored 9 points off our turnovers, and we had scored 0 off theirs. And that was the difference. They were flying around. They were more aggressive, and they were playing more connected. And they were playing with better energy. And so it'd be a great lesson for us. It'd be a great lesson for us as long as we learn from it. And we've been playing really well. And this is a deal that, hey, give them credit, right? They came in here and they brought more energy to the game than we did. And we just got to make sure if we want to go where we want to go, that can't happen.
Coach, it seems like this type of game often comes up at UNCG. You talk a lot about matchups during the year, and obviously you're concerned with the effort produced from the start, but they have a lot of three-point. You're a good three-point shooting team, and they statistically gave up like 40% entering today. Is it just a matchup thing? Is it just a matchup thing in terms of that? Reason it's a tough matchup for you guys?
I wouldn't say that. They do a great job. I got a lot of respect for them, but I'll watch the film. Live, we missed a ton of wide open threes. Right. A ton, right? So didn't have the proper mentality to step into balls and knock them down. It's why we've been playing so well, right? Like, we go out there today and we shoot 21% from three. Well, that's not really a good formula for us. So now you got to go and look at the film and you got to say, all right, which ones were contested? That'd be great defense. Which ones were wide open? That'd be good offense that you just missed a shot. Well, that goes back to mentality. What's the mindset going into that shot? Okay, and am I going to make shots based on how I emotionally feel, or am I going to have the courage, regardless of what the game's saying? Like, hey, I got to step into this ball and I got to jump up there and shoot it. And so I got to watch it, Now if we turn the tape on and it's a lot of contested shots, then yeah, you're exactly right. But if a lot of them are clearly open jump shots that we're just knocking down, I can think of 3 right now of a guy standing wide open in the corner and just missing, and that's going to happen, right? Like, you can't guarantee that you're going to make shots the way we've been making them every single game. But what you have to understand is, why is that affecting our defensive energy? And because, hey, well, I don't feel good because I'm not scoring. Well, you're not going to win championships like that. You have to be able to set the rules of engagement, and we failed to do that tonight.
Granted, it may well be because you didn't hit those threes, but in watching the game, whereas many times I'm fairly in awe of how well you move the ball and work the ball, without those, you looked a lot more like many teams I've seen. It didn't look as nifty inside when you tried to push it in. And I thought that Greensboro's defense must have had something to do with it.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. They did some switching, and they also really, really loaded up on the strong side, and we knew that. And we knew we were going to have to challenge, their aggressive flow to the ball. And, to be honest with you, we started playing better offensively if you look at the possessions, everybody's going to say, hey, when you start pressing, you guys got the lead back. Well, go look at offensive possessions after that. Like, all of a sudden we started having some of that connectivity and the ball started moving. If they're going to load up on you, you can't play one side of the floor. And some of that is to them of their aggression of making it hard for us to change sides of the floor. But, you got to do your fundamentals. You got to dribble hard. You got to change sides of the floor. You got to cut hard. You got to set your cuts up, right? I mean, they're pressuring, so there's space to move it. And unfortunately, I just thought their energy made us passive. We were jogging in the screens. We had slow dribble ats. We had slow cuts. And so therefore, the ability to get the ball side to side, they restricted it. And you got to give them credit for that.
Their second chance opportunities. I think to me, it seems a little bit different playing against UNCG because of how patient they are offensively with the shot clock. So when they get a second chance opportunity, it's a little bit different than, say the Citadel. Could you speak to like how important it is to, just basically just to box them out, and keep them from getting offensive rebounds because one possession seems like two when that happens.
Well, I mean, it's no different than any of these games. Like, we haven't lost a game yet this year when we won the boards. And so we lost the boards tonight by 6, and we actually got more offensive rebounds than they did, but I felt like theirs were timely. I felt like they got some critical ones after we had good first shot defense, and then they just came in there and got the ball. And, it just made it harder and took us longer to get back into the margin. And so, I thought I don't have a first half box in front of me. I'd be interested to see the rebounding numbers in the first half. But it's, there's some guys that I thought laid it out there tonight. And, unfortunately, collectively, we just didn't have the energy that we needed in the front of the game. And, they got confidence from their energy, right? I mean, that's just how it works. I mean, they felt like they were having success. They felt like they were moving us off our spots. And, therefore, they were up 6 at the half rebounding-wise. So, basically, in the second half, we were even. But, again, you go into halftime down 10 and you lose a game by 2. I mean, you tell me.
Coach, you spent, everybody talks about the energy you spend to get back in the game. That's true. But things were going, you ended the game on an 18-3 run, oddly enough. But when you lose someone like a Mike Bothwell, that's got to be, no matter how well you're playing in that moment, that's still got to be like kind of a blow to the team.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. I mean, it's obviously, it's I would expect to still win the game. I think we've won games with key guys fouling out before. But
In that moment,
yeah, it's tough. I mean, a lot of our late game stuff. He's a guy that's done a great job in those late game moments. But still, I mean, you got to get stops and rebounds, Scott. We got to stop. We got to get the rebound, and we got to see the shot quality that we got in those late couple possessions. I thought Mark had the angle on the drive. I can't really tell from my view if he should have pivoted and played behind, but it's. I think we're going to see some things on the film that we're going to have to learn from. We got to, and so, Mike getting 5 fouls, in a game like that, it's can't happen. We talked about it. I mean, we watched film on it on Thursday about some of these fouls that we want to be aggressive, but we want to be disciplined, and we want to play with disciplined aggression, and we got to. I mean, today, he has 5 fouls, and like you said, I mean, he's our leading scorer. I thought he played with a ton of confidence offensively, but down the stretch, it would have been nice to have him out there.
Now, on the one hand, there are a lot of things where you were as crisp, you detailed all that. However, as much as I've seen y'all win, if somebody told me that you were going to shoot 30%, I would have said they'll get beat 15 or 20. I mean, before y'all had an 18-point run in the second half, you had never had more than a 4-point run. I mean, for all the stuff about we didn't play well, they certainly played determined.
I think our guys fought. I mean, I thought they showed tremendous resiliency. I mean, I never would doubt that with this group. I mean, this doesn't change our goals. This season is going to continue, and we still have games on the schedule that we get to go play. But we gotta learn from it. And look, I wouldn't expect this team to quit. Like we have too much character in that locker room, and we have too good of people in that locker room. I figured they would start playing harder, and hopefully we learn from that. Like, why did it take that deficit and that level of frustration to start playing harder? But look, these guys want to win. I mean, they've worked so hard. This is a great group of guys, and this is not a flip out and lose our minds. This is a hard lesson that we got to learn. We got to see what we can get out of it, and then we got to move to the next game. And you gotta make sure you handle it correctly. But yeah, a ton of credit to the guys for fighting back. There's no doubt about it.
One last thing. We've seen over the years defensively what Furman does to kind of teams' leading scores. You usually stick somebody on there. And on a team like this, it's got one guy averaging double figures going into the game. I think at one point tonight they had 8 different guys score their first 20 points. Is it almost more difficult in a way to prepare for a team that doesn't necessarily have a superstar, so to speak, the way y'all prepare defensively?
I wouldn't necessarily say that with how they play. We've played them twice now. They scored 58 and 54. I think our defense has been decent. I think today it was just mentality. It was just I just didn't think that we had the grit, to persevere through some frustrating moments, not being able to make shots, and them getting some confidence, them all of a sudden building some energy. We got to persevere better, right? You got to have some long suffering to you in this and understand it's a 40-minute game. And I felt like we were taking too much energy in the game to try to reroute that. And, so they've got good players. I thought Buckingham made some timely plays. And, obviously you got to give 33 a ton of credit for going up there and knocking those free throws down. He hits the 2 to take the lead. And then, he hits the first of 2 to get the 2-point lead. And give them credit. They outplayed us for the totality of the game. They brought more energy to the game than we did, and they deserved to win today. They outplayed us, they outcoached us, and we just got to go respond.